The Brexit debate has seen false promises made to the public from all sides and from all parties. Democracy only works when it can be based on a debate of truth and honesty and fact. How can the Prime Minister reassure the House that this debate we're about to have now on her deal is based on facts and evidence and not more false promises to the British people, which, when broken subsequently, will damage trust in our democracy even more?
Mr. Peter Bone!
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Is the Prime Minister aware that if the media reports about the EU agreement are in any way accurate, you are not delivering the Brexit people voted for, and today you will lose the support of many Conservative MPs and millions of voters across the country?
Prime Minister!
Can I say to my honourable friend,
Members must calm themselves. I've often advised taking some sort of soothing medicament, and people may feel better in consequence. I want to hear what the Prime Minister has to say, and I hope the House has the courtesy to want to do so as well. The Prime Minister.
Can I say to my honourable friend that what we have been negotiating is a deal that does deliver on the vote of the British people. In the list that I set out earlier, I left out one of the things that the British people are very keen to see from this deal, which is an end to free movement, and we will ensure that we are delivering on that, as well as those other elements that I have set out.
If the European Union really intends, in good faith, to rapidly negotiate a future trade agreement, why can we not make the second half of £39 billion payment conditional on delivering it?
Well, nobody can now doubt that the Prime Minister has tried her very best. Are we not nonetheless being asked to take a huge gamble here? Paying, leaving, surrendering our vote and our veto without any firm commitment to frictionless trade or the absolute right to dismantle external tariffs? Is it really wise to trust the future of our economy to a pledge simply to use best endeavours?
Mr. Speaker, I congratulate my right honourable friend on beginning her campaign to sell this deal to the country with the frank admission just now that it is unsatisfactory. I may say I think that is a bit of an understatement, because it's very hard to see how this deal can provide certainty to business or to anyone else when you have half the Cabinet going around reassuring business that the UK is effectively going to remain in the customs union and in the single market, and the Prime Minister herself continuing to say that we are going to take back control of our laws, vary our tariffs, and do, as she said just now, real free trade deals. They can't both be right. Which is it?
Speaker, the Prime Minister in her statement speaks of the European Court of Justice and how this deal ends the jurisdiction of the Court of Justice. So can my right honourable friend give a precise date or even a year when the UK will no longer be bound or subject to or have imposed on it any judgments from the European Court of Justice?
And advise if this might be one of the prices to pay for her Brexit deal.
Prime Minister.
No, it is not one of the prices paid that she refers to. We will be able to still strike those trade deals around the rest of the world, and I'm pleased to say, as I said earlier, that there are a number of countries that are not just expressing an interest in that, but as we've seen and as I saw 2-3 weeks ago, countries like Japan and Vietnam and Australia keen that we should talk to them about joining the CPTPP. We specifically looked at our ability, under the proposals we put forward, to strike those trade deals around the world, and we will have an independent trade policy. We will be able to strike those trade deals.
Prime Minister, I'm a great supporter of yours, and along with the British people, I accept what a difficult and tough job you have. There is much in the withdrawal agreement that I agree with, especially on food and farming, but it is not good enough as it stands. The Northern Ireland backstop threatens the integrity of the United Kingdom and weakens our negotiating position. And my farming instincts tell me I know that you do not hand over £39 billion before we get the deal. Please, can I ask you, Prime Minister, to listen to these concerns and renegotiate the deal before we put it on the floor of this House?
Can I say to my honourable friend that he's mentioned the issue of paying over money to the European Union. As I have consistently said, as I indicated, I had hoped in the first answer I gave to the Leader of the Opposition, nothing is agreed until everything is agreed, and we remain negotiating on that future framework. In relation to the £39 billion, which I would remind my honourable friend is significantly less than the £100 billion the European Union were first talking about us needing to pay, these are about the legal obligations that the United Kingdom has. And I hope that every member of this House will recognise that the United Kingdom is a country that meets the legal obligations that we have.
Unlike the Leader of the Opposition, I and colleagues have read the draft withdrawal agreement and the many briefings, and it's clear to me that the Prime Minister and her Cabinet have laudably tried to reconcile the demand for continuity of market access today with freedom to diverge tomorrow. Isn't the truth of the backstop as drafted that if and as we were to exercise our regulatory freedom, whether in agri-food or in data protection, we would allow the EU to harden the border between Great Britain and Northern Ireland? Can the Prime Minister reassure me and seek reassurance in Brussels today that this draft doesn't contain a trap that if we dare to diverge, we undermine our union?